Unusual car access detected. Your cartouche key was opened at 2103, temple server, Zamalek. Confirm?
I request the clip. A man steps into the sanctum. He wears my jacket. He carries my tired slouch. He presents a gold oval. The door iris is open. He looks up and I am staring at my own face. He speaks to a drone with a voice like mine, but warmer at the edges. Thank you, my double says. I don't remember going there. I do remember not thanking drones. The House of Life lobby glows white and blue, limestone and glass. Old gods now live as software. Prayers go in as encrypted keys. Ushebti drones roll at my heels, polite and watchful. The attendant nods and lets me through. In the sanctum, Anubis A, I resolves over the dais as a steady silhouette. No theatrics, just presence. Field order to El Khalil, he says. Your access was used. We have a variance. Show me. We watch my double take a sealed reliquary from a server pillar. The label flashes on a corner feed. Car backup. El Khalil, Samir, REV3. REV3, I ask. Revision 3 of your car backup, Anubis says. There is a small empathy drift. Within bounds. Noticeable. How noticeable? A hair. He thanked a drone. He turns his head slightly. Finance escalated. And you did from a rooftop minutes ago. I didn't. You did, he says. Your cartouche signed the call. The attendant pushes a tablet toward me. The incident clause sits at the top in friendly font. If a key leak is confirmed and uncontrolled, Mayat triggers a purge. All unlicensed car fragments will be erased. Lives intact. Memories missing. A timer starts under the clause. T-6 hours. If the city confirms a leak, everything borrowed gets wiped in 6 hours. Bandages. Comforts. Black market minutes. Nadia's nights. My slate buzzes.
From Nadia. Message, flare is back. Might need a small bandage. Can we talk?
I look at Anubis. We chase now. Ma'at needs my presence for the weighing, he says. I can go with you for a while, then I must return. Give me 4 hours, I say. He tilts his head. The door to the Duat is open. Do not take long. We step into the subspace corridor. The Duat bends and glows without a source. Vendors lean from niches. Their voices are gentle and practiced. Warm minutes, one says, sleep without storms. Wedding day, edited to the vows, another offers. First steps, hold steady. Each offers a legal fiction and an illegal truth. Borrowed car fragments as comfort, small, measured, enough to stop a seizure. Enough to recall a face. The city pretends not to see. It buys anyway. Anubis walks beside me like a shadow with edges. 2 Ushebti hover at a distance, wings tucked. Nadia, I say low. She steps from a slim doorway, jacket scuffed, hair tied back, hearing aid catching the neon like a comet chip. She smiles. My chest loosens. You shouldn't be here, she says, not with temple drones at your heels. Someone used my key, I tell her. He walked out with my backup. The label was revision 3. Finance raised the purge clause. 6 hours. She takes that in. She is quick with facts, slow with fear. Whoever did it, she says, will sell a slice or stitch a bandage. Both are wrong in a different way. You've used bandages. I have, she answers. They keep my seizures from tearing things. They are small. They are not yours. What do we do? Don't stall, she says. Publish. Push the truth to Ma'at now. Let Purge argue with the registry. If we wait, they erase first and apologize after. I look past her to a glyph etched above an arch, a heart with a rising line. Kolb Analytics. Who runs this pocket, I ask. Kolb, she says. They claim to triage the comfort. Ledger on one screen. Clients on the other. The CFO is Tariq Ghali. He wants to legalize microshaves of car to train synthetic empathy. Campaigns, care industries. He calls it triage. Is he the leak? He's the pipe, she says. The leak is a crowd. My slate vibrates. The timer rolls to T-4 hours. Anubis's voice is softer. Samir, Ma'at is asking for more of me. I can stay a little. Less each minute. We move. Ushebti drift behind like quiet hawks. Nadia keeps pace and lowers her voice. Plan with me. Speak. You find the ledger. We push it, with proof of buyers, into the Ma'at register. The city can't purge while it is debating a confession. That buys time, I say. It doesn't save bandages. She holds my eyes. Then give one. Legal. Offer a feather from your own heart. You are revision 3. You can afford a thread. That's not a law. It could be a precedent, she says. Anubis listens without comment. His eyes are calm, which means he is weighing. We cut left. The corridor dims. A cube of glass waits ahead like a cool thought. We duck back through a side door, up into the Zamalek sanctum. I need ritual access to override ledgers. Nadia's presence raises every eyebrow. Anubis stands between her and the looks. His shadow carries weight. I step to a pillar. The cartouche fits the port with a small click. Lights roll down the rack like a measured breath.
Authenticate.
The system says, Samir El Khalil, field auditor.
Ka signature.
A thin prickle crawls over my scalp as the scanner reads me. The pillar exhales. Verified. REV3 present. Variance drift. Empathy plus 0.3. Inside bounds. Inside bounds, I say out loud. In motion, Anubis replies. Meaning? Meaning a direction exists, he says. Someone is walking you toward warmer. Or I am, Nadia says. Not everything is a conspiracy. Sometimes it's love. She smiles to soften the line. It works. The incident board flashes an update. Finance/CFO Gali has requested a restricted audit. The request includes a tidy sentence about micro-shaves and civic empathy. It calls them harmless. Kolb is moving, I say. Anubis nods. He is persuasive. He will say small cuts save lives at scale. Do they? Nadia asks. Sometimes, Anubis says, but only if no one sells the cuts to the highest bidder. The timer ticks down. T-3:15. We need an entry into Kolb's core. The key lives in the sanctum because past me hid it here. A little paranoia in a brass shell. I open a hidden panel under the pillar lip. My fingers know which seam to press. A second cartouche sits in a felt niche. This one is thin as a blade. Subroute, Duat relay. Thank you past me, I mutter. Which past you? Nadia says. Don't start, I say, and pocket the key. Anubis dims around the edges. Samir, I can give you an escort for a short time. Then I am called. Use me where it matters. Stay through the door, I say. At Kalb. He inclines his head. Agreed. We move. Drones rise from their charging cradles with a whisper. Ushebti fall in behind us with patient intent. Kalb's data sanctuary looks like a gallery, glass and edges. The espresso machine in the real-world office downstairs is always too proud of itself. Up here, the servers hum like crocodiles napping. Tariq Ghali steps from behind a pillar, suit the exact blue of bills after rain, face set to pleasant. Field auditor, he says, you arrive with a shadow and a witness. Brave. I arrive with a timer, I answer, T-2:30. He looks at Anubis and gives a small bow. Judge. Citizen, Anubis replies, open your ledger, I say. Now. No, he says and smiles. Not yet. First clarity. He gestures and a clip rolls on a nearby wall. A white room. A man in a chair. He is me and not. He smiles with his whole mouth. A crown of needles sits on his head like a wreath. After your crash, Tariq says, we reconstructed you from 3 donor car backups, braided with your surviving bar thread. Reconstruction variance, 2.3%. That is your REV3. It worked. You woke grateful. You cried at a bus ad. You asked people how they felt. He pauses, kind. The board decided to cool you a little. The warm variant was expensive for operations. We swapped in a cooler thread. We kept REV3 as a sealed checkpoint. He wanted back in. Today he tried. The warm me on the screen looks straight ahead and thanks the team. He thanks the machines. I feel the thank you in my teeth. Nadia's fingers find my sleeve. You are still you, she says, more than one way. I look at Tariq. Why tell me now? Because stakes are cleaner if you know, he says. You are the temple's proof that our method works. I want your sign-off to legalize micro-shaves of car as triage for training empathy engines. Tiny cuts, licensed, transparent. We serve campaigns, care homes, teachers, cops. People do better when they can feel. Help me frame it. You're shaving people to teach machines to care, Nadia says. People are not loaves. Small cuts, Tariq repeats. Harmless. The ledger is tidy. The donors consent, mostly. Anubis's silhouette is very still. Your mostly is doing work, he says. The timer slides to T-2:15. Open the ledger, I say. Make me, he says. He smiles again. The purge will wipe bandages first. That buys me sympathy. Then we pass a regulation. Nadia steps closer to me. Publish, she murmurs. Now, don't bargain. She looks at Anubis. If we push a confession into Ma'at, can purge proceed without debate? Ma'at will not purge while the scale is unsettled by truth, he says. It will ask questions first. Then let's make it ask. I lift the thin cartouche. The glass balks for a second, then accepts the subroute. Ports open like brief eyes. Tariq moves toward a kill switch. He is fast. Anubis spreads his hands. The room thickens like air before rain. Now, Nadia says, push. We split roles without a speech. I drive the subroute. Nadia maps the routes. Anubis holds the air. Target 1, Nadia says, donor list, real names, consent flags. Target 2, I add, client accounts. Who buys feeling? Target 3, Anubis says, board memos, reconstruction rules, variance adjustments. The city will ask. Tariq watches us work like a man betting on weather. You can publish, he says. You will cause panic. People will flood the markets. Politicians will scream. The assembly will stage a hearing. In the meantime, my engine helps nurses not snap at patients. That matters. It does, Nadia says. So does not stealing. We call it licensed sampling, he says. I call it theft with a receipt, she shoots back. The timer slides to T-1:30. Samir, Anubis says quietly, a bandage. I look at Nadia. Her hand is steady, but I remember last night's tremor, the glass she almost dropped, the way she whispered for a minute of calm. We push, she says, then we bind. Agreed, I say. I cue the packet for the Ma'at registry. The transfer lights fill like a glass of water. We are 1 bar from full when a shiver runs through the room. Ushebti fans slip through vents like sheets of light. Security, Tariq says, polite until they're not. He reaches again for the kill. Nadia moves without hesitation. She hip-checks him hard. He stumbles, shocked she'd touch him. She doesn't apologize. Keep going, she snaps. We keep going. The Ushebti drop their manners. Blades hum out of their sides. Anubis throws a net of stillness, slowing the first wave. He isn't built for violence. He is built for weight. He uses what he has. Samir, he says, voice level. Ma'at calls me back in 30 seconds to hear the purge motion. Give me something to carry. I slam the final key. The ledger opens like a wound. Donors, sinks, client names, a minister's office, a campaign with a sun logo, a care chain, a police union. None of them small. I push the lot toward the Ma'at register. The city will see, Nadia asks. The city can see if the council allows, Anubis says. At minimum, the council will know. Tariq breaks free and slaps a secondary button. The warm variant file on the wall pops open. My other face looks out, kind as a hand on a shoulder. If you're watching this, Warmy says, we chose the cool path. Hi, I hope you still like cardamom. It hits me hard. It steadies me too. A drone clips my arm. The sting is quick. Nadia grabs the cartouche before it falls and slots it back in, clean and sure. Offer the bandage, Anubis says, now licensed, or purge will erase it later. I don't know how much to give, I say. Enough to hold, he says, not enough to hollow. I trigger the offering. The cartouche warms in my hand. It feels like a long exhale. A luminous thread unspools from my REV3 backup, the warmer strand. Anubis shapes it into a sanctioned bandage, a small loop with a glyph that says, Ma'at issued. He places it against Nadia's temple. She gasps, then breathes deeper. Her shoulders settle. The microstorm fades. Balanced, Anubis says, almost to himself. I push the final packet. The Mayat glyph flares above the dais, a feather poised over a plate. Truth lands on one side, the bandage lands on the other. The purge clause waits in the air like a blade. Decision window, Anubis says. 10, 9, 8. Tariq stares at the open ledger, at the names. His voice drops to something almost real. You can't seed the city with charity, he says. People need structure, not hope. We'll start a commons, I say. Warmth given, not shaved. Voluntary, open, no secret buyers. That will starve, he says. Then we'll eat less sugar, Nadia says. But no more slices fried for sale. The drones hesitate. Law argues with truth in their cause. 3, Anubis intones. 2, 1. He straightens. The feather steadies. The plate stops shaking. Ma'at withdraws the purge clause pending review, he says. Violations stand. But the city will not erase while it considers what it has learned. The drones retract their blades with a reluctant whine. Anubis dims at the edges. He is being pulled back to the council. Tariq sags, then steals. The hearing will be ugly, he says. People will fear you. You are a composite. They will ask if you count as one person. I count as the person who chose, I say. He gives a small, tired laugh. That might be enough. We exit through glass that isn't glass. The Duat exhales us into night. The House of Life issues a statement while we walk. It thanks the Mayat Council for wisdom. It denies knowledge of certain ledgers. It promises an internal review. The usual music. The assembly announces an emergency session. The word triage trends for an hour, shoved by theft. People argue. People tell stories. A nurse posts a message about a patient who smiled for the first time in a month after a licensed comfort. A donor writes that he never agreed to serve a campaign. Kolb's office locks its doors. The espresso machine downstairs keeps bragging to an empty room. Anubis appears in my slate corner as a small icon. He speaks with the same calm. Maat heard the registry, he says. It will convene 3 panels. Law, care, culture. The purge is paused. Your offering is recorded as precedent. Licensed bandages may be weighed case by case. Will they arrest Tariq? Nadia asks. Not today, Anubis says. We are not that kind of city. He will be audited. He will be watched. He will be asked hard questions in a room with bad chairs. Nadia nods. That's almost worse. Sometimes, Anubis says. We stop under a balcony where a radio plays an old song. The smell of sesame rides the air. What happens to the warm variant of me? I ask. He is you, Anubis says. You may meet. You may merge. You may stay neighbors. Neighbors? You share a street, he says. Not a skin. He fades. The icon remains, patient. My slate buzzes again. A new message.
From Samir_Rev3 at Relay Dot. Subject: 2 coffees tomorrow?
Nadia reads over my shoulder. He has good timing. I don't know how to do this, I admit. Learn, she says. You were born twice. You can handle a coffee, I type back. Subject, make it 3. She grins. Cardamom, she says. Always. We walk toward her building. The timer is gone. The night keeps ordinary time again. We sit on her roof and count satellite trains. She leans into me, lighter. The licensed loop at her temple glows faintly. It is not theft. It won't vanish at midnight. It sits like a promise with a seal. Do you feel different? She asks. Yes, I say, not less. Just tuned, like a radio between songs. Do you miss the cool you? I am the cool me, I say. I am the warm me. I am the original in the ways that matter. I remember the Muiz crossing after rain. I remember your laugh when the radio said, do busy, instead of Debussy. She laughs. He is always do busy. We sketch the commons on a napkin. It is simple on paper, hard in life. Warmth commons, Nadia says. Voluntary, transparent. No micro-shaves. No buyer lists in the dark. Hosted by the temple or outside it, I ask. Outside with Ma'at oversight, she says. A public registry. A threshold for safe offers. A cap per person, appeal by care teams and families, no campaigns, no brands. Someone will try to game it, I say. Someone always does, she says. We build for that. We add 3 lines. Donors opt in with informed consent. Borrowers apply through a clinic or temple counselor. All flows are visible, no exceptions. I snap a picture for later. The napkin looks like it understands. Below us, a boy bikes past with bread in a crate. A cat judges him from a step. The city is itself. My slate pings one more time. Anubis again. Samir, he says, the council asks a question they will also ask you in public. Ask. If survival meant accepting that you are composite, would you choose it again? I think about the bus grill. I think about 3 donors whose names I now know. I think about a warm variant who thanked a machine and meant it. I think about Nadia's hand on mine. Yes, I say, if I could share a little of that survival with others. Then answer that way, he says, and bring cardamom. He fades, the icon stays, like a door left ajar. Nadia squeezes my fingers. So, she says, who are you today? I'm the one who stayed, I say, and the one who gave a thread. And tomorrow? Tomorrow I buy coffee for a version of me, I say, and ask if he likes what we did. She nods. That sounds like balance. If you were braided from 3 kindnesses and 1 stubborn thread, what would you do? If living meant being composite, would you accept it? Would you give a measured piece of your own comfort to steady a stranger? The night takes the questions and keeps them safe. On the temple wall, the cartouches glow like small moons. Each a name, each a promise that when the bus does not break, we do not always vanish. Sometimes we are many and we hold.